the anti-epidemic fund and other items. So the SRO could then proceed with the $1.5 billion of the employment support scheme and other schemes to support businesses. Now, I have reviewed these 30-odd items with my officials yesterday. For quite a number of them, we could immediately receive applications, or there is not even a need for applications, and we are able to provide support to eligible individuals and businesses. There are less than 10 items that we have to explore the details further to see if there's room for enhancement. Now, at the Finance Committee meeting, the 41 pro-establishment members pointed out that these items are timely relief measures for the LegCo. Because members have different views or demands, still there's not reason to block the passage of the proposal. Imagine if the LegCo were constituted in such a way that they were dominated by the 20-plus members who voted against the proposal. You could imagine what Hong Kong would become like. And then for the businesses and members of the public in dire strait, how are they going to get relief? Now, for some items, there's need to work out the application details, and we need to set up mechanisms to support to work as fast as possible, because yesterday there was an announcement on the unemployment rate for the first quarter of this year. It's now worsened to 4.2% compared to the last quarter. That is from December to March this year. There was an increase of 0.5%. It's all-time high in 10 years. Some sectors have been particularly hard hit. For example, sectors related to consumption or tourism, the unemployment rate is 6.8%. For catering industry, the unemployment rate is 8.6%. And then for the construction sector, the unemployment rate is 8.5%. The employment support scheme, ESS, is exactly to help employers so they could retain their employees, and we could avoid further redundancy. Because now we're in a tsunami of unemployment, so we need to do our best to help the businesses. As the Secretary for Labour and Welfare said, we're trying to stop the bleeding for these sectors. A second issue I'd like to talk about is about our fight against the epidemic. Now, yesterday was the first time since the for a long while that we had no new confirmed cases. And then, in fact, most of the cases we see in Hong Kong are imported cases. But this is not the time to let down our guard, or all our efforts would go to waste. Now, there is a series of measures that should expire at midnight on the 23rd of April in relation to enhancing social distancing measures. Well, these measures will have to be extended for another 14 days. The Secretary for Food and Health will be giving you more details later. I must stress that all relevant government departments will be enforcing these regulations with vigor. For example, we have already taken out 34 prosecutions against catering businesses, and then 131 fixed penalty tickets have been issued, and then 3 prosecutions have actually been taken out. So we will treat everyone equally in enforcing the law. Now, a few days ago, there were 10 police officers suspected of violating the gathering ban, and they actually injured one of their own. So we will certainly take action on these cases, and if warranted, there will be disciplinary actions too. Now, of course, the SR government fully appreciates that people feel helpless, that they are not able to carry out social activities as usual. They can't visit friends, they can't meet with friends and so on. But please, be patient for a little longer. Now, we have not actually implemented city lockdown measures in Hong Kong compared to many other cities. So already we are doing a little better than many other cities in carrying out our day-to-day activities. And the third issue I'd like to talk about is we want to reduce the risk of community infection. and we need to put in place conditions to for us to relax the gathering bans and other social distancing measures in future. So we need to strengthen our control over imported cases. So we are putting in place 2 other measures. First, for all people arriving at the Hong Kong International Airport, doesn't matter where they come from, they must first take a test, and they can only leave after the test result is out. You might recall that previously this measure only applies to places such as the UK, the Europe, or the USA. But now, for people arriving from anywhere at the airport, they must receive the same treatment. That is, they must take a test, and they can only leave after the test result is out. Of course, if the test result is positive, then we arrange for the individual concerned to go to a hospital of the hospital authority, and if the test result is negative, then the person will have to undergo 14 days of mandatory home quarantine. Now, there is huge fluctuation in the number of arrivals from at Hong Kong. Sometimes there could be just 200 arrivals in a day, but in some days there could be 800 arrivals in a day. So for the Asia World Expo Temporary Testing Center, it is not possible to cope with 1,000 or so arrivals in a day, stretching out, between the morning and the evening. So that's why the SO government has succeeded in renting, not requisitioning, but renting a hotel. This is commercial behavior. We've been able to reach an agreement with a hotel, so we could rent a whole hotel. There are about 500 rooms, so it could be another holding center while people wait for their test results. I would like to thank the Regal Hotel Group for agreeing to rent to us the Regal Oriental Hotel for this purpose. They also agreed to provide basic meals for those waiting for the test results. I must stress here that these people have not been infected. They're just waiting there for the test results. And also, they all arrive at Hong Kong on commercial flights, so local residents need not be concerned. Of course, we will also take all necessary precautions. The second measure we're going to roll out is that for all arrivals at the airport, if say the test result is negative, and then these people go home for home quarantine, and towards the end of the quarantine period, we want to play safe, so we want to do another test. Therefore, we're going to provide a deep throat saliva specimen bottles for these people. Towards on the 12th day of the quarantine period, they have to submit another specimen for testing, so just to make sure that they've not been infected. So these measures are fully supported by my expert advisory panel. Here I would like to thank all colleagues in the relevant departments for working so hard to make sure these 2 measures can be put in place. Now I'll take questions from you. Okay, the floor is open to questions. Please raise your hand. Please speak into the microphone. The lady.